Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is due out from Llewellyn Books this October. So if you like my positive approach to tarot and positive take on the cards, you are going to love this book. It is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal is getting stuck in your head, because that animal has a message for you. The animals were the Flamingo, the Moth, and the Otter. So just ask yourself now, what animal kind of gets lodged in your consciousness? Because that is your message. For those of you who picked the Flamingo, the card says embrace the in-between. And I think that's because Flamingo can, go into the sky. It can also delve into the water. And so there's just sort of this in-between quality. And you might have your own foot in 2 different worlds right now if you're attracted to this animal. So it might be feeling like you're doing half your life here and then half of your life there. And that's okay. Sometimes we're transitioning. Sometimes we're going from one phase to another. And it's okay to embrace that process and not be all or nothing, or think either I have this 100% perfect or everything needs to get thrown out. That Flamingo is really telling you to be a little bit more nuanced than that. The first card for the Flamingo people is where it's best to place their focus this next week, and we get the 7 of Pentacles. This is a card of things growing slowly but surely. The seeds have been planted to your goal, and now you're just asked to monitor the growth and to prune it and to take care of it over time. The 7 of Pentacles is a good card, especially financially speaking. So if you had a financial goal or something you want to do, this card says that you're on the right track. However, it's not a harvest card. You'll see that things are still growing. It's not quite ready to rein in. And so this might be a time where you're still needing to be very patient right now. It's exciting because something's cooking in the background, but it's not quite ready to enjoy. Also, with that 7 of Pentacles, it's just a card that says you're on the right track, that most of the heavy lifting has been done. You've plowed the fields, you've planted them, you've tended them through the most difficult portions of time. And now it's going to be time for you to just be patient, monitor it, tweak it here and there, and you're good to go. The next card is advice from your inner wisdom for the Flamingo people. Here we got the Tower card, and everyone goes, oh no, the Tower, when they see it. And the Tower is actually, for me, one of the most healing and cathartic cards in the tarot. The Tower forces you out of your head, which you might have been in a state of denial about. With the figures on the Tower, they're falling from the top of the Tower. And with each thing that they lied to themselves about not wanting to experience reality or not wanting to experience a real feeling, it made the Tower taller and taller until being in their head almost became a prison. In fact, you can see the top of the Tower is a crown, which is really, again, putting that attention on the head. And the lightning bolt is the lightning bolt the universe will always send if you're in a state of denial, if you need a wake-up call, or if you're hanging on to something that just no longer serves a purpose at this time. And by getting snapped out of that state of denial and sort of snapped out of the cycle, you're able to wake up and look at things as they truly are. And so this Tower card could just indicate for you that this is a cathartic moment where you're letting go of what's not real anymore. And the people are falling towards the earth, which is a symbol for getting back to the ground, getting back to nature, getting back to your nature. And so anything that isn't serving your best interests and anything that's getting you in your head and making you neurotic or making you unhealthy in some way, it's time to let it go, let it fall. You don't need it anymore. And the Tower only shows up when it's sweeping away something you no longer need. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that's going to be helping the Flamingo people. And there's the god of nature, Pan. And so again, that coming back to nature, coming back to the earth. We also see that in all 3 cards. We see it with the 7 of Pentacles where he's with the earth. We see it in the Tower where they're going toward the earth. And we see it with the nature god, Pan, who's of the element of earth. So this could just be a time to get grounded, maybe step outside, maybe to kind of take stock of what's real and what isn't, and to let things go that you no longer need. Next, we got the Moth people. Excuse me. I swallowed and breathed at the same time. The Moth spirit is saying that it is time to surrender now. So sometimes this is a card of transformation and it just says it's time to let go. And also there's some things in your life that you're just not in control of, and it's okay not to be in control of it. It might be just time for you to let go of the past and move on. The first card for Moth is The Queen of Pentacles, this is where you should place your focus on your goals. Things are growing beautifully. The Queen of Pentacles is focused on the coin in her lap in her garden, and all is manifesting in its appropriate time on the card. And as I always say, she's got this little rabbit that's in the bottom corner of the card here, and the rabbit can symbolize anxiety. And this is just saying maybe what you need to surrender is your anxiety. It's actually killing your ability to stay focused and actually manifest what you're really working toward. So this is just a time to surrender anxiety, let go of your fear, and really just get the job done. The second card for Moth is advice from your inner wisdom. And you got the Page of Wands. And this is a card of growth. You can see the Page of Wands is holding that tall staff in front of him, almost like a measuring rod. And he hasn't quite grown into it yet. And this is a card of aspiration. There are big dreams happening for the Moth people right now. They got a lot of vision about what they want to do, but things are still growing. And we got that a little bit in the earlier set too. So I just kind of feel like patience is needed this next week. Don't look at things as they appear right now and make a snap judgment, but just allow things to grow. And also the Page of Wands asks you to look to the people you look up to, or people who have accomplished what you want to accomplish before, and take notes, get an example from them, and learn what you might need to alter in yourself. By looking up to those people that have been inspiration for you before, it's going to give you a better idea of how you yourself are going to achieve your goal. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that will be helping the Moth people. And we got Zeus, the sky god. Zeus is a card of, or an archetype of perspective, personal power, authority. He's the king of the gods. So this could just be a time to really step into your own majesty. He's also the one who turns into an eagle and flies into the sky. And so we get that sense of looking up, aspiring for more, or growing. This is your time to really get things launched, and anything that you're really trying to affect change in the external world with right now, it's a really good time to make a move on that, but be patient with that growing process. And then finally, we got the Otter people, and it says you are never alone. That's so sweet. And Otter is a very affectionate, playful animal, so this could just be a time where you need to really connect with those people that you feel closest to, and maybe just have a heart-to-heart. The first card for Otter is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week, and it's all about building your self-esteem. The Six of Wands is a card that says, don't apologize for being seen. Don't apologize for doing something very well. Promote yourself in some way. Sometimes this is a card of really polishing a resume or not being able to present to the world your best self. And on this card, most people are celebrating this guy. They're all cheering for him on the card, and he's crowned, and he's having this great victory. And this can represent you. You might have a great victory yourself. You might be doing something very well. But we got this one stinker on the card who's got this face of envy here. And that kind of symbolizes that sometimes when you shine, not everyone's happy for you. And that's more a reflection on their issues, their low self-esteem, their baggage, than it is about you. So don't dim your light just because somebody else wants to take a shot at you. It's not worth your time to do. Second, we have advice from your inner wisdom for the Otter people, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. It just says that there's a lot of chaos kind of going on right now, and you just have to embrace the chaos. You have to bless it and say, hey, it's not what I expected, but I'm just going to roll with this. The Wheel of Fortune is usually a very lucky card, especially when it's around another positive card. So this could just be a time where things are developing positively. But it's saying don't get too attached to that feeling of elevation or that things are so great, because the wheel turns unexpectedly. And if you're basing your self-esteem on the approval you're getting or how something appears outside of you that you have no control over, well, when it changes again, you're going to have to reel from that change and be affected by it. So it's important to stay centered and in touch with some sort of perspective. And then finally, the mythic archetype for the people who picked Otter is my favorite goddess, Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Athena holds the owl who's able to see what others cannot. She is a card of coming up with a strategy, and she's an archetype that blesses you if you use your wits, if you use your head. Athena teaches you not to expect life to just go well or not go well, but instead to really come up with a plan. And your luck is going to be when that preparation meets opportunity. So that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always visit me at elliotoracle.com and schedule a personal tarot session with me. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week and you're staying safe and healthy, and do take care.